Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh, excuse me, I'm so used to this thing. Welcome to the Lone Star Cajun podcast. Let's get it. All right, guys, we are back. The Lone Star Cajun podcast is back. Let's just soon call this quarantine part 2 because I don't know about where you are, but all of Texas is basically shutting down again. So I guess it's quarantine part 2. I recommend you wear your masks, try to stay home, try to Germ-X, and you might want to get toilet paper because you don't ever know if people are going to lose their minds again. So just be ready this time. I think we'll all do a better job of being ready. But anyway, I'd like to welcome you back to the podcast. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be back. I know we've taken a bit of a break. We're back. We're good to go. Plans for the future as far as the podcast. We plan to be back to our normal every Saturday, week-to-week schedule, bringing you the best content and the best podcast around. So I hope everyone is doing okay. As I mentioned, I hope you're safe. I know it's kind of getting crazy again, depending on where you live. As I said, here in Texas, it's kind of getting not great again. But I'm glad that you guys are doing okay if you're watching, and let's just get right into it, guys. Welcome back. I guess I do want to start by saying that I know that we took a brief absence, and things got really busy. I'm taking some summer courses, and things just got a little busy, and that's why we kind of took a little hiatus for a couple weeks, but everything's taken care of. Everything is in order. And we're back now. We're back on schedule, and we're back trying to grow this podcast and making it the best podcast that it can possibly be. But anyway, I just wanted to say that you guys, that I know for my my viewers, that I know it's maybe been tough that you haven't got to see it, but it's gonna be there. We're gonna do this week to week. We're back, and we're good to go. So topic 1, let's just get right into it. I think that's one of the biggest topics right now. And it does still have to do with this virus or around it, and that's sports news. So sports is slowly starting to churn its wheels. Of course, UFC has already been churning its wheels. It's been really one of the only sports that, and besides NASCAR, that's kind of been fluid through this whole thing. This coming weekend is going to be the first fight at Dana White's Fight Island, and more details were revealed about that. The island is located in Abu Dhabi. The UFC actually has a standing contract with Abu Dhabi. Dustin Poirier and Khabib Nurmagomedov both fought there when they last fought. So this is not really a first-time location for the UFC. It's just a first-time situation where they're doing this Fight Island series, and they're sort of... it's sort of like a UFC resort. So that'll be very interesting to see that set up and kind of what's going on. But Dana White decided to do this idea, which I think is crazy and awesome, because a lot of the fighters were having trouble flying to and from the United States to make fights. And he wanted to make sure all of his fighters would be able to travel to fight. So he did this in Abu Dhabi so that all the fighters can make it there. So that's actually a really cool idea. And that's going to be Kamaru Usman, and who is Usman fighting? Usman versus Kid Burns? Gilbert Burns, sorry. He's fighting Gilbert Burns, Saturday, July 11th, so next weekend, UFC Fight Island, and that's at 9 o'clock, and you can check that out. I'll be definitely watching that one, so that'll be pretty awesome. The NBA has started team practices for those who are coming back and participating in the 8-game bracket that we talked about in the last episode. There's a cool picture on Instagram of the floor. I can pull that up right now. It's right here. Of the floors being laid out in the Disney resorts. Practice floors for each team that's there. And then there's another cool post about the all Disney resort teams, so kind of knowing what teams are at what resorts and who's the best at what resorts. That's really cool. And obviously, as an avid Disney fan, I think it's really cool that the NBA is taking place there. I think that's really awesome. But the 8-game bracket, is going. 8-game bracket, 18 team because of the 2 extra on each side. Bracket is continuing as far as we know. It's good to go. I know the Lakers are already practicing. They just recently signed guard J.R. Smith, so that's a classic LeBron duo. He's a scorer. He can get 10 points, which is about what they need out of him, because that's what Avery Bradley could produce. And I just maybe leave him out of the clutch, but we won't talk about that. But in any case, that's the plan. Everything's going according to plan, as we had previously mentioned. Everyone is at Disney resorts. They have a strict set of rules. The teams are going to play as far as we know. And the NBA is actually currently working on a backup in Chicago for the teams who weren't invited to Disney to sort of have a training camp and some exhibition games as well, just to keep it up if they wanted to. So that plan in Chicago is still in the works. Nothing's absolutely official yet. Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is a bit up in the air. Rob Manfred has kind of gone back and forth. We're going to play. We're not going to play. We're going to have a season. We're not going to have a season. It's going to be a shortened season. We don't know. But basically, what I'm understanding is that the MLB is going to go with a shortened season, a 60-game season, and basically they're going to play it out. It's going to be 60 games, which is going to be very unique for baseball. It's going to really increase the stakes of the sport, which I think will be very interesting, and it's going to speed up everything about the sport, really, to me. And it'll be interesting because the NBA and MLB are going to be kind of starting up at the same time, which is so odd. And but it'll be very interesting to watch the fallout and the progression of both of those seasons, and watching the NBA Finals in August. That's going to be so weird. What I'm really concerned about, to go back to the NBA for a second, is the turnaround. I mean, are we really going to have the finals in August and expect the new season to start right in the next month or two, and have, the players who played in the playoffs not have basically an off season? Are they going to rest half the next season? I mean, what is the plan there? I don't know, but I can tell you this, that a lot of the players are saying that they believe this championship, whoever wins this championship, is going to be one of the toughest championships ever, just because of the 2 months off in the middle of the season and then the quick turnaround. And I'm kind of with them. I think it's going to be a tough win, and I'm very interested to see sort of what comes of it. The NFL. So right now the NFL is sort of on the same page. Basically what I'm hearing is that the league, they want to continue like normal. There is some things ongoing with training camp protocol. So some teams want to bring less players to the training camp of the 90-man roster to try to minimize things. The NFL is going to try to take steps, I'm sure, maybe with attendance, maybe not. But there's not a whole lot on the NFL. So we'll have to wait and see. There are some social justice things going on with the NFL right now, but I'm not really going to comment on that, because we don't really comment on those sort of things on this channel. But as far as the play goes, it seems as though the league is going to progress as relatively normal, which I hope so, because I believe, as a Saints fan, this is Drew Brees' last season, and I would really like to see him play out his last season. One more NFL kind of important detail. If you didn't see, the New England Patriots signed Cam Newton to a 1-year deal. That's quarterback Cam Newton. And I suppose Bill Belichick is going to try to work his magic and fill Tom Brady's shoes with Cam Newton. I, for one, believe that it's going to work. I, for one, believe that Cam Newton is going to have sort of a resurgence of his MVP campaign. I believe that Bill Belichick is going to try to make him less a brute runner and more a thinker as far as the passing game. And he has so much raw talent. No one's going to deny that he has absolutely so much raw talent. And I think that Bill Belichick is really going to hone that out of him. And I think it's going to be really fun to watch the Patriots. And I think they're going to have a better record than Tampa. So that's just me. But if I get first pick of my fantasy team, I'm seriously thinking about Cam Newton. That's not a joke, because I really believe that Bill Belichick can do great things with quarterbacks. I'll just say that. Okay, well, topic 2. Let's just go on to the second one. And topic 2 is going to be, we're going to bring back a segment that we used to do, which is the weird news of the week. So the weird news of the week, we're going to go to HuffPost. I'll leave the link for this below. And we're going to go through some of their weird news of the week. So let's just start with this first article. It says, former manager of DoD Aerospace Threat Program. UFOs are real. And basically, this man who was a head of the DoD program, which is the CIA's Directorate of Operations for terroristic threats, he basically says that that UFOs exist. He says there's been a shadow of secrecy for decades in which the government has sort of been hiding things that could, quote unquote, revolutionize the human experience. Again, I will reread this to you, the full quote. According to a TTS AAS statement, its team members who have been operating under the shadows of top secrecy for decades believe that there is sufficient credible evidence of UAP that provides exotic technologies exist that could revolutionize the human experience. That is a mouthful. But that's very interesting, I would say. It's definitely weird. This man, who was obviously a high-ranking official through the CIA, is saying this kind of stuff. I myself don't doubt that these things exist. He's saying that these things are not a threat, but they exist. One character or event is saying that 2 F-18 jets were flying off the coast of Florida. They took gun camera footage. They ran into an object hovering at 80,000 feet, dropping at supersonic speeds, and it came to a complete stop at 50 feet over the ocean. These secret machines easily evade the F-18s. Dozens of military personnel aboard the various planes and ships involved are privy to these interactions. Wow. What? Very, very weird stuff. Very interesting stuff. If it's true, it's true. I mean, who am I to say? I'm telling you right now that I think UFOs are real. How could they not be? How could we be the only people I mean, we talked about this before, but that's just my point. Okay, the next article. This is from my own state, so giving us a bad name. A Louisiana man faces charges for swimming in sporting goods store fish tank. Yes, this really happened. This is the man decided to jump into the indoor aquarium at the Bass Pro Shop in Bossier City, Louisiana, to celebrate getting 2,000 likes on TikTok. Wow. Now, okay, TikTok is cool. I'm a fan of TikTok. But 2,000 likes? That's not great. That's not a lot. I don't know if I'd be celebrating that, I don't have a TikTok myself. We could launch a podcast TikTok if you're interested in that. Maybe we are, maybe we won't, maybe we aren't. You don't know. Could be in the future. But I will say that this man, I don't really understand the diving into an aquarium for 2,000 likes. Maybe like 100,000, 200,000. But by the way, if you've ever been to a Bass Pro Shop, those aquariums don't look like the cleanest things ever. So I don't know if I'd exactly be diving in there. But the man says that I said if I got 2,000 likes, I would jump in the tank. I got way more than that, and I didn't want to be a liar. Well, the man keeps his word. So if you know this man, and this man McGraw, Kevin Wise. If you know this man Kevin Wise, then he's a man of his word. He's not a liar. He's gonna jump in a fish tank for 2,000 likes. So that's great. He was charged with simple criminal damage to property and released with citation to appear in court. So anyway, he does plan to continue his TikToks, and hopefully he'll get a little smarter about that, aim for a little higher like value. But another weird part of the story is that the man was captured on video by a shopper named Treasure McGraw. Now, what in the world kind of name is Treasure McGraw? That is a unique name. I don't know if that's related to Tim McGraw or Indiana Jones. Maybe they both had a son or daughter. Treasure McGraw could be both. And that's a very interesting name, is what I'll say, and that this man, continue your TikTok dreams, sir, and maybe just skip the fish tank. Okay, well, the next bit of fake news is that a Florida woman sues for paternity test on goats. I don't even know what that means, but we're going to try to dive into it. So the owner seeks the DNA for 5 goats. Bella, Gigi, Rosie, Zelda, and Margot. Not Margaret. Or is it Margot? I'm thinking it's Margot because they're goats. Because she believes that they could be registered with the American Daily Goat Association, therefore they are worth more. This woman wants a paternity test for her goats. That is, that's, if you're a farmer or something, yeah. She's been selling goats at Baxter Lane Farm. She's a farmer, and they can register animals there, and I don't think this is too weird. I mean, she wants a paternity test. It's kind of like a Jerry Springer, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Jerry Springer situation, and, that's fine. If she wants to know who birthed her goats, I think she should be entitled to know that. I think that, there's no problem in knowing the parents of goats. That's all I have to say about that. I'm watching a video right now of one suckling on a teat. Wow, that's huffing. Okay. Carry on. Anyway, so that's going to be our weird news of the week. Oh, I take it back. There's one more that I had to share with you guys. A dead iguana was found in the freezer of a Florida pizza parlor. Again, a dead iguana was found in the freezer of a Florida pizza. That's a tongue twister. A dead iguana was found in the freezer of a dead iguana was found in the freezer of a Florida pizza parlor. The reptile was a gift to the owner, and I guess the owner stashed him in a freezer. He stashed an 80-pound iguana in a freezer, not thinking that the iguana would freeze to death. Okay, if I got pizza from that place, I'm kind of wondering what my pepperoni's been out of at that point. It does say that some people consider this a delicacy, and that one company even makes iguana sausages and burgers. So maybe this man did this intentionally, but I'm not going to that pizza parlor because I don't know how you just gifted an iguana and your first thought is I'm gonna put it in the freezer. Give it to a. I don't understand that. Anyway, that's very it's very interesting. Okay, well, that was our weird news of the week. Let's go to a word from our sponsors, I think, guys. So as you know, our first sponsor is Anchor. Anchor hosts the podcast. Anchor is a great podcasting platform to get started into podcasting. They can give you some sponsorship opportunities. They can also branch your podcast out onto a number of other podcasting platforms. So that's Anchor. The link to Anchor is right up there. Alrighty, next we have Teespring. Our Teespring store is live and up running. We have a number of merch options. In the coming weeks, you're going to have a refresh, some new merch options to choose from. Our Teespring store is right there. And if you want to access both of those things, along with our podcast description, you can head right over to our podcasting website, the LoneStarCajunPodcast.com, which that link is up here. So please check out the podcasting website. You can check out Anchor from there. You can check out our store from there. Get you some merch, rep your guy, and let's get back into the podcast. Thank you very much. So the last topic I want to talk about is a show that I've been watching, that I've taken a major interest in, and that show is Outer Banks. Now, I know I'm a little bit late to the party. It's been a popular show for a good part of the year, but I've been watching a lot of other shows, and I've just recently gotten to it. It is on Netflix, and it's basically about a small community in the Carolinas named the Outer Banks. It's right on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, and there's sort of a rift, a divide between people in the town. There's the Pogues, which are the sort of the blue collar, hardworking class. Then there are the Kooks, who are the more affluent, rich, country club type scene. And naturally, these two groups butt heads. And really what the show is about is that one of the main characters, John B., who happens to be a Pogue, his father recently went missing. His father had been a treasure hunter, kind of looking for this lost treasure that, of course, no one really believed was a real thing, but he had been researching it, and his father ultimately went missing in search of the treasure. So John B. is sort of living on his own. And of course, these are high school age kids, and he really doesn't know what happened to his father, and he kind of wants to know, and he also wants to sort of fulfill his father's destiny of trying to find this treasure himself because he believes in his father. And so he and his Pogue friends sort of go on this treasure hunt. There's a lot of dynamic between them and the kooks and the rest of the town. And the show really reminds me of like a hybrid of like, say, Goonies and Stranger Things. I would say that's a good mixture. But needless to say, the sort of ragtag crew, they go on this treasure hunt around the town. They're trying to find the treasure. And of course he finds a love interest along the way, which is a kook or a richer person. And that of course causes a rift in the group. But what ends up happening is that, well, I don't want to spoil too much. I'm not gonna put a spoiler alert on here. But lots of twists and turns in the story, lots of different exciting avenues and things that happen to these kids. The show is very well put together. It's not. It's definitely more family friendly. It's nothing. No nudity or anything like that. It's very put together and family friendly, which is a good thing to see in these days when lots of things are not family friendly. But yeah, it's a great show. I would recommend it as a watch. I think it's very entertaining. I think it'd be a fun family show to watch if you like kind of like treasure hunts and teens and that kind of. Your teen would love it. If they haven't seen it already, they would love it. And but it's a great show. I would highly recommend watching Outer Banks. Okay, well with that, that's going to be all of our topics for the week. And I just sort of wanted to let you guys know again that we're glad to be back. We've taken quite a hiatus, and we're back and ready to bring the best content we can. Ready to get some guests on here again, because I know you guys really like the episodes when we had guests. And try to get this ball rolling again with the Lone Star Cajun podcast. And thank you guys as always for tuning in. You can check out our website, and from there you can see our anchor page, our merchandise page, and things of that nature. And expect some updates again, like I said, on the merchandise page for some new stuff. And stick to it, and we will too. And thank you for continuing to come back and check out the Lone Star Cajun podcast. Sorry it was a little short this week, but been a little busy, and it's going to get really, really moving from here on out. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And this has been the Lone Star Cajun podcast. Out.